Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and a new paper crafting video. Today I am making a 3D box. It's an Easter display box. I had so much fun with this and I got to play with pattern paper. I am using these dies from ScrapDiva Designs. If you shop there, use my code CarrieStamps at checkout for 10% off your order. Okay, let's jump in. This is the die set. It has all the things you need, and I am going to use every die in this Easter display box today so you can see how all of them work. So you're going to start out by die cutting out the large box pieces. These are the pieces that do not have stitching, and they have flaps on the sides to help you put it together. So I'm going to die cut those out first from some solid cardstock. I'm going to go with this gorgeous color. This is like one of my favorite colors. So I'm going to arrange my dies, cut out all the things, and then fold all of them on the score line that the die creates for me. This is going to help me put it together a little bit easier, having that all ready to go. If you have trouble folding on the scored lines, I always try to fold it towards me and then away from me. Next, I'm going to use some double-sided adhesive tape and put this on the flaps where I'm going to assemble it. Now, you'll see that things kind of go awry, as they normally do when I'm making things, you know, crafts, food, whatever. So I got that ready to go, and then I decided I wanted to do the pattern paper pieces. These are the pieces that will line up with the box elements, and they all have a stitched border around it, which is fabulous. I'm using this paper from my stash. It's from the Dare to Be Artsy site. I love this paper. I love the colors in it. It's so springy, and I thought it was perfect for Easter. So now that I have those die cut out, I'm going to glue them into place, but you might not want to. You might want to put the box together, then put your die cut pieces on, and it will hide those pieces. Now, I decided that's how I wanted it, so I took a little scrap of paper and I sawed it underneath my designer paper there, and then I was able to insert this piece. But I'll tell you what, doing that was a pain in my bunny tail. So I am not going to do it that way, and this is my thoughts. I am going to cover the outside of this box with patterned paper as well. So it's going to cover up these flaps where normally the inside of the box and the pattern paper I put on the inside would cover up the flaps. So really, either way, they're going to be covered up. You won't see them. So it's no big deal whether or not you put your pattern paper on before or after. And here you can just see I'm using a mix of that double-sided adhesive tape. It's 1/4 of an inch wide, and I also like to use liquid glue. I have had too many situations when making 3D projects and boxes where they've popped open, and I think that is less fun, right? When your project falls apart, especially when you've given it to somebody and they have it sitting on their counter and it's all cute and boop. Yeah. No. So I made sure and did really good adhesion on there. And then I die cut out some more pattern paper. This is actually my favorite of these two, this plaid pattern. And that's what I decided to put on the box because I thought I might see it a little bit more. So I put my favorite on the outside, and I love these. That fits with just like the tiniest border all the way around, about 1/8 of an inch. It is so pretty. So once I decided, you might have noticed the bottom of my box has pattern paper. Yeah, once I decided the flaps could go on the outside, it kind of switched up how the bottom of the box looked. So it's lined on the bottom, and lining it helps it be super sturdy. You'll see I did the bunny outline on the back with white cardstock because I want my bunny to be white. But I also die cut that piece again and just omitted the bunny part by scooting the die up, and that gave me a piece I could lay over it. Also, part of it's not stitched where the neck is. I put that part that's not stitched at the bottom. You'll never know that there's a little section not stitched. Let's move on to the cute bunny pieces, like his little feet. There's a die that cuts out the feet, the hands, and the facial pieces. So I die cut it once from white and once from gray. Now the pieces that I'm not using in gray, I could use to create a second box where the bunny was gray and so on. So there's the little hands like he's peeking up over the top of the box. And then the face has this nose that is heart-shaped, which I think is darling. And then 2 little eyes with eyelashes. There's also some eyebrows. I opted not to use those on mine. And I set the eyes so they're kind of far apart. I think that look is really cute. And then I added a little bit of ink. This is frosty pink ink with a small blending brush to the cheeks and the inside of those ears. So it has just a little bit of interest and dimension. Now, this die that has two bow ties on it has a heart, and that heart will fit perfectly over the top of this. So if you want a two-toned look like the pink nose, here's how you do it. Easy to do. Plus, having a tiny heart die is really fun. You can stick tiny hearts on lots of things. Now, what I love is the die in this set that cuts out the whiskers, cuts out all 4 whiskers at once. I didn't have to run that through 2 times, and that makes me happy. So I die cut the whiskers from white and glued those on so that the longest whisker on each side is in the middle. Now, there's 2 places you could glue the feet on. You could glue them on right like this, so like the box is sitting in the bunny's lap, or you can glue them onto the side so he's kind of, you know, popping up from behind. So I was waiting to glue it on and trying to decide how I wanted mine to look. Next, I added one of the bows. This is the shorter bow. Not the other one's more long, and I put that on the bunny's ear and put a little gem that was on my desk from a previous project. Like, I didn't get put away. I was like, it matches perfect. It's like translucent with pink glitter in it. Okay, there's also a egg in this set and carrots. I'm going to die cut those out. The egg has a white base with a stitched layering piece, and then the carrot cuts out 2 carrots at a time for you. It has a layering piece on it as well. So I cut it from orange and red. I cut the stem or the leaves off of the solid orange carrot, glued it to a green carrot, and then this layering piece I did from the same colored cardstock. I feel like it just gives it that like dimension and almost like faux embossed look, and it's perfect. So there's my carrot, and then there's this die that's like chicken wire, which I adore. I die cut mine from some like brushed silver cardstock, and I'm going to put that on each side of the box, which is going to be like a little decorative element. So there you have it. I trimmed off any that hung off the side, and I think it's super cute. All right, my feet, I decided to add them to the back of the box. So I'm just going to tuck it between the layers. It worked out this time, so I did it. But remember, I had also cut these feet from white. So I got the detailed part of the feet from white and the solid piece from white. So I'm going to cover up the back of them since they're going to show this way with white, so it's more clean, crisp, uniform. You know, that's why I like it. This is the Easter Spring Word die set. This is an older one, but there was a brand new set of words that came out this year in the latest release at ScrapDiva Designs, and they're a little bit bigger. This is a really thin word. It's got Easter words, spring words, religious Easter words, the word chocolate. Who doesn't need a die cut word chocolate? Yeah, I can't get over it. But this one has the word Easter egg, and I'm going to put some Easter eggs in mine, but not the 3D kind, the chocolate kind. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I did the top layer with pink, which, by the way, I added some rip and stick sheet to the back of this, some double-sided adhesive sheet to the back of my pink cardstock before die cutting out those words, and that turned them into stickers and made it super easy for me to stick them down to their shadow layer. Here's my little eggs with the white border around it, another patterned paper from this pack that matches perfectly. It's going to go on the side of the box here, and I will die cut a second one to go on the other side of the box, so the sides of the box are going to be the same. Now I find this box like so darling. You easily could gift any little Easter treat in here for anybody. This would also make a great baby shower thing, but it reminds me of like going to a convenience store and there's like a little box of something at the cash register. You're going to like thumb through it, you're going to pick one out, your flavor, and buy that little thing of candy, right? Okay, so before I could get much further, I had to give him a little bunny tail, a little cotton tail on the back. So I pulled out these pom-poms from my stash and hot glued that into place to give him the finished look. Okay, here are the chocolate eggs I found at the grocery store. They're Russell Stovers, and they had 5 different flavors: caramel, coconut, What else we have? Like chocolate truffle, yes. Confetti cake, I don't know about that. And then we've got caramel marshmallow. So I put all 5 of those in there. The color actually went with my box pretty good, and I like this. I could set it out like on my coffee bar, or if you have a front table by your door or your desk at work, or give this to somebody for them to set out on their desk at work for Easter time. Give it as a gift to your neighbor, put it in a cellophane bag, you know, gift it to a friend. I think it's the cutest box. If you like 3D projects, you have to go check out ScrapDiva Designs. Use my code CARRYSTAMPS at checkout for 10% off your order. I cannot wait to see you on my next paper crafting video. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you then. Happy stamping! Bye!